wanted to give you guys like a bird's eye view of what's in my drawers, how I organize them. I like to keep my palettes mainly in these Alex drawers. I got this from IKEA, and like I said, I will link down where I got it, and if you are interested in purchasing this actual drawer set, I'll link it in the description box down below. But I like to keep my palettes here because it just helps me keep them organized, and also it declutters where I do my makeup at my actual table. So if I need a palette, I just come and get it, and then I sit down and do my makeup for the day. But yeah, so let's go over the drawers. Not all of them are full. The last two on the bottom are empty, which is a good thing for me. But so we can just go over drawer by drawer. So this is the first drawer. I like to keep them organized by brand. So at the top here I have my Stila makeup palettes. So this one, oh, that's the film. So this one is the Soul palette. So I have, I guess, the 4 palettes. So this was Soul, Mind, this is Spirit, and I think this one is Body. So I have the 4, and I just keep them back here. And if you ever want to see like a makeup look with any of these palettes, just let me know. So these are the Stila ones, and then I have the Natural palette right here. And this is my first Anastasia palette, so I didn't really have anywhere to put it, but it just fit nicely right here. So that's where I'm storing it right now. And then down here, or actually the rest of this drawer, these are all my Too Faced palettes. So these are the chocolate bar palettes. I really like that this one is hearts. But these are just the chocolate bar palette. And this is the peach palette that came out earlier this summer. And this is the Totally Cute palette from Too Faced. And then I have a few of their little ones, the PB&J, Natural Eyes, Natural Eyes, Natural Matte. This is the Sugar Pop palette. I love this palette because it is just so colorful and adorable. This is like such a cute palette. So it's the Sugar Pop. I have the Country one and the Cat Eye one. And I like to store them up here because these are the ones that I tend to gravitate towards when I want to do just a simple, easy look. And then this is the Christmas palette that I got a couple years back. It's just the Everything Nice palette from Too Faced. I really didn't dip into this one as much as I wanted to, but I was really excited to get it around Christmas time. But yeah, I just haven't dipped into it as much, but I do have it, so I'll keep this one back here. Yeah, so this is mainly Stila, Anastasia, and Too Faced. And then the second drawer is Urban Decay, just all Urban Decay. At the back here, I have the On the Run palette. I got this one when it was finally on sale, but this is just the On the Run. And I do keep everything, like even the lip gloss, in here because it's really good for travel purposes. If I know I'm going somewhere and I really don't need to have like a dramatic look, then I just grab this palette and I head out. And so we'll just start from this side. So this was the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette from Urban Decay. I have done a review and look tutorial with this palette, but if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. So I got that. And I have a few of the Urban Decay Vice palettes. I think I got these a little before I started getting into YouTube channels, so I've used them, but I haven't done a lot of looks on my actual channel with them. So if you're interested to see some looks, just let me know. So I have this one. This is the Vice LTD palette. I think this one was exclusive to Ulta, because I think that's where I got that one from. And then the Urban Decay Vice. This is the I think this is the newest Vice that came out. I could be wrong, but I think this is the newest one. So I got the Vice one. I just love the hologram effect with that palette. And this was the first Vice palette that I ever purchased from Urban Decay. So I got this one. And the last Vice one I have is the Vice LTD Reloaded one. And I just love the packaging on all the Vice palettes. They're really nice. So I just store them right here if I'm ever wanting a Urban Decay palette look. This is the drawer I go to. And this is the Urban Decay Spectrum eyeshadow palette. This right now is on sale on Sephora, so if you want to get an Urban Decay palette on sale, check this one out. I think it's half off or something, but it's on the website under the sale tab. But yeah, I didn't get this when it was on sale, of course, because I always jump the gun, but I really like this palette. And the mirror is actually on the lid, or on the back of the lid, so I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. And this little section right here, these are my Urban Decay. Well, this is all Urban Decay, but these are the palettes. So I have the Naked palettes. I have all of them, though. 1, 2, 3, and Smoky. I would say that out of each of the Naked palettes, the one that I love is the original. I honestly love this one because I feel like I can do so many looks, ranging from like a daytime look to a nighttime, or I can just, you know, try to make something that is cohesive out the whole palette. But the number one is my favorite. However, I don't like the packaging, that it's like that suede feeling, because I feel like it gets dirty easily. So, and I hate when my palettes get dirty, so when I use this, I'm like so careful not to touch it if I get any shadow on my hands. This one I have, this was a 500 point perk from Sephora. I think it was the Sephora in JCPenney, and it just has 4 shadows in it. I like it. I haven't used it, but it was free, so, or it was point perk, so I didn't want to pass it up. And then I have the Electric palette. I love this palette. I made like the cutest purple, pink, silver, sultry eye with this palette, so if you want to see it, let me know and I can recreate it for you guys. But this is probably my favorite Urban Decay palette that I've ever purchased. This is probably my favorite palette regardless, like just out of all the palettes I have. Just love it. Love this palette. And then I have the Moondust palette that just came out. Can't open it. Yeah, so this is the Moondust, and I will also link that video. I've done a review and a look with this palette, so I will link it down below for you guys. I love the mirror on this one. And then back here is the Gwen Stefani collaboration with Urban Decay palette. I wasn't like too stoked about this palette, but you know, I was like, I am such like an Urban Decay junkie, so when they come out with the palette, I'm always like, well, I really don't know if I like it, but at the same time, it's Urban Decay, so I know the shadows are going to be great. Sometimes it's just the color selection in the palette is not so hot, which I thought this one kind of failed on that one, on the aspect of color selection, but the pigmentation of this palette is still pretty good, and the packaging is adorable. So it was just one of those things where it's like packaging good, pigmentation good. 2 out of 3, I can live with it. So I got it. And the last 2 Urban Decay palettes I have are the Naked. These are really good for on the go, every day. This is the Basics 1, and Basics 2. Yeah. So I got those for travel purposes, or to put, sometimes I'll put it in my makeup bag if I want to do makeup in my car, if I'm in the parking lot early or something for work. That's what I'll usually do. But yeah, those are all of my Urban Decay palettes. And this next row is between Tarte, Buxom, Lorac, and IT Cosmetics. So let's see, we'll start over here. So I have, let's see, so this is the Tartelette palette. I just love the purple ombre effect on this palette. And here are the shadows. I love that this is a matte palette. I actually like matte shadows. I know I like to use a lot of glitters, a lot of bright colors, but when it's like an everyday palette like this, I like it. So there's that, and then there's the Tartelette in Bloom palette, which is a combination between matte shimmers. So this is a really nice palette. I got this one specifically for this shade right here, and I've actually done a look with this palette, so I'll link that one down below as well. But that is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. And then I have the two Tarte palettes right here. So this is the Tarte Energy Noir palette. I usually throw away the film because I just don't like the film cover after I actually have the palette, but these palettes don't have the names of the products written on the actual palette itself, so I keep the film in case I need to refer to the color or anything. And also because they're not written on the back either. So that's a little downfall of that palette. And also of the Tarte, this is the Poppy Picnic palette. Also, again, names aren't written on the palette, and the names aren't written on the back either. So I do keep the film on this palette as well. And then this was a Christmas gift. This is the Tarte, I think Amazonian clay eyeshadow. It came with like its own makeup bag, if you guys remember that Christmas set. So yeah, so I just pulled out the palette. I do use the makeup bag. It is actually my favorite makeup bag to use. But here are the eyeshadows. I like this palette. It's a mixture between mattes, shimmers. It's a really nice Christmas palette. I enjoyed using this. I haven't dipped into it as much, but I do remember that Christmas I used this like crazy. And this is the, I hauled this palette. This is the newest one that I have from Tarte. This is the Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen collaboration with Tarte, and it is just the cutest little palette. So this is my Only It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. I got this a while back because I was looking for a nice all-day, everyday palette, which, you know, I have enough, but I was looking for one anyways. And I'm not like in love with this palette. It's okay, but it does serve its purpose for an everyday natural look. Nice quality everyday neutral palette. And then this is the Boxum palette. I got this, I want to say palette so many times in this video. I actually made this palette. I picked the 6 shades, and if you pick 6 shades and you get the box along with it, then it's like $40 or something. So I kind of want to just play around with Boxum shadows, and I made a little palette. And then here are my Lorac eyeshadow palettes. So I have the Lorac and the Lorac Gold. Or Lorac. Is it Lorac or Lorac? I'm not sure. So this is the unzipped, and this is the unzipped gold. And I like that they both have shimmer and matte combinations in each palette. So yes. And then I have the Lorac Pro palettes, and I enjoy using this palette. I did a nice grayish toned look with this palette, and I'll try to insert pictures as I go along to show you how I use these palettes. But I enjoy using this palette. It was a nice look. And the Lorac Pro, I think this is the Pro 2 and this is the Pro 1. This is the Lorac Pro 1 and this is the Lorac Pro 2. So the one has more, well, they both have a row. So the first row is all mattes, second row all shimmers, and then you have your more neutrals and then your more nighttime looks. So, and the 2 has this beautiful blue, pop of blue here, more I guess you could say neutral tones in the 1, and the blue, I think they were trying to add more pops of color. But yeah, so the top one is the 1 and the bottom one is the 2. These are the Lorac I guess it came in a set of 4 for Christmas. So the top one, you have Princess, Queen, Countess, and Duchess. And they each contain 4 eyeshadows. So this is the Princess, this is the Queen, this is the Countess, and this is the Duchess palette. So that's the 3rd row. And the last row contains my Makeup Forever, my Kat Von D, and Violet Voss. I didn't have an area to put any Violet Voss palettes because I just got them, so I just put them in here. So I will go right here. Okay, so that first row, so this contained my, these are my Makeup Forever Artist Shadows, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I really like, so this is one more, I still have the little piece of covering on the mirror. So this is more of the gold lookbook. I say lookbook, but palette, I guess you can say. So the number 1 is more of the gold. And then the number 2 has your pops of colors. I love the number 2, obviously, because I love pops of colors, but this was my favorite, like that pink and purple. Of course, love this blue, amazing. So of course, if you want to see a look with this, just let me know. And then the number 3 has some pops of colors, but also they're a little more dulled down, I guess you could say, so they're not so in your face, but I do like this palette as well, and I like that yellow too. It's really pretty. Number 4, just got it, love it. And the number 4 is an all matte, because these either have a combination of matte and shimmer, or they're all shimmer. So this one is just a strictly all matte palette, but really enjoyed using this palette. And then this is, I got this a while back. This is the Makeup Forever box. This is it comes in a little box, and then you have your mirror right here, a little, it's a studio case, the lookbook, and then here are your mini eyeshadows with an eyeliner in here. And you can also take out this little, I guess, palette, and then you can use the box as a makeup case. So that's cute. So, and I really love Makeup Forever shadows. The next thing I have is the Violet Voss palettes. So this is the Holy Grail palette from Violet Voss. I wanted to see if it was comparable to the Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Modern Renaissance palette. I like both of the palettes. There's nothing wrong with either or. This is the Violet Voss Drenched Metal palette, and this is just more of the, still have the film, haven't used it. This is more of the, I guess you can say metallic shades, metally looking shades. There is one matte shade which is called Secret, which is up here, but everything else looks to be shimmery or metallic. My friend Ashley actually used this palette on her birthday, and her look came out wonderful. I let her use this palette, but I personally haven't used it yet. And then back here, so that is all of my Makeup Forever palette and with the Violet Voss. And then starting with Kat Von D, I have her quads. These are her Shade and Light eye quads. So you have Plum, Rust, Sage, and Smoke. Keep right here. And then this is her Shade and Light eyeshadow palette. I love this palette. Such a great neutral palette, such a great combination. You can use this palette in combination with any palette on the planet. I promise you, if you don't have this, it will change your outlook on Kat Von D, because at first I was like, with her products. But after purchasing this eyeshadow palette, I love the pigmentation, I love the blendability, I love that you can build it up, and I love that you can use it with any other palette. And then back here I have, I think this was her, yeah, this was her holiday. This is the Kat Von D Star Studded palette. and it just has a built-in film because the names aren't written on the actual palette, they're written on the film, but it folds back. You can tear it, it's perforated, so you can tear it if you want. And then here are the shadows themselves. Love this palette, love the pop of greens, the blues, the purples, orange up there. Oh yeah, that's more of an orange. Love this palette. And then next, this, I love that I got my hands on this. This was really hard to get my hands on for some reason. It was selling out like crazy. But this is her, what is this? Mi Viva Loca palette. This is just so beautiful. So it pulls out, and here are your shades. I did a really pretty reddish look with this palette using these 4 colors in this corner. I'll insert a picture. Really love this palette. It's just, it's like your color wheel basically. If you ever need a pop of color, just go to this palette. But I also like that this is also a one-stop palette because it does have mixture of mattes and shimmers, nudes and colors. So there's a transition, there's a pop of color, there's a intensifier color, you know, one stop. And I love palettes like that, so this was definitely worth the purchase. Don't regret that at all. So, and then, like I said, the last 2 are empty in this one because I just don't have anywhere else to put them. These are the Smashbox eyeshadow palettes, the full exposure and the double exposure palettes. So this is more of the neutral day and night palette mixed with your matte and shimmers, and the double exposure has your pop of blue right there, and this is just a mixture of matte and shimmer, but more on the darker side when compared to the regular exposure palette. And so I hear the double exposure, when you mixed with wet, it can create different types of finishes, but I haven't used them wet or anything. I just use them as is. But yeah, so those are the Smashbox colors, and the drawer down below is empty. So yeah, so these are my makeup palettes. This is how I store them. And if you have any questions on any of the palettes, or if you want to see how I create some looks, or if you want me to create a look with any of these palettes, just let me know in the description box down below. I have this cute little mat here. It says home of a Lucy fan. I love Lucy. I am obsessed with her. She is my role model through and through. So my fiance got me this when I was in college doing my undergrad, and I will never ever lose it or misplace it. It is like the definition of me, so I love it. It's a great addition to my makeup room. But yeah, so let's go over what is on top. So this is what I keep on top of my palette drawers. So these were basically gifted, these 2 makeup set or makeup brush kit sets. This is the Sephora brand, and then this is the Alexis Bitar, or I think it's Bitar brush set. I got this from Travis as a Christmas gift, and I got this from my mom when I first started doing makeup. And then this I recently purchased at where Charming Charlie. It says, does this ring make me look engaged? I really thought it was calling out to me, so I just put it up here. And then this is a little stand I got from Walmart, and it keeps my watches, my bracelets on here. And back here are my brush set, I guess you can say carrier cases. So this is the Sigma Chrome Extravaganza Chrome Kit. When I purchased that set, it did come in this brush set holder. So I just like to keep it here, so when I do travel, I can put those Sigma brushes in here. And then I purchased this from Sephora, and this is their Pro Brush Holder. And this holds, sadly, I mean, I guess it could hold anything else but Sigma or any other brush, but I find that it holds the Sephora Pro brushes perfectly, because I mean it is meant for Sephora Pro brushes, so that's why I bought it, because I do have a lot of the brushes. And this is just a makeup bag that is velcroed in, so you can pull it out if you want, and I usually will pull it out and put my makeup in here, because I'll stuff this to like the rim with brushes if I ever go, you know, travel somewhere. So this was definitely a great buy. And it wasn't even that expensive from Sephora's website. And then back here I have, this is the brush holder for the Makeup Forever brushes. I just wanted to see if I could travel with something that would hold my Makeup Forever brushes. And this one is really nice. It really does hold a lot of brushes. I don't have this many Makeup Forever brushes. Too expensive for that. But the ones that I do have, they fit nicely in here. And then this part just comes and stretches over. It's not as, I guess, secure as these ones, you know, like these have that bulk feeling. This kind of has like a flap feeling to it, so it's not as secure as I would like it, so I really don't use this as much. I usually, if I do travel, I take an assortment of brushes, so if I usually use my Sephora Pro one because it does fit my Makeup Forever, Sigma, and Sephora brushes in the holders. But I keep that back here. And for Christmas, my mom got me and this is just a Sephora bag that I saw it in Sephora, and I asked the lady, I was like, can I have a little bag for decoration? And she was like, sure. So she just gave me that little bag so I could, you know, put it in here for decoration. And for Christmas, my mom got me the Sephora, the Hakahodo with Sephora collection brushes. They're over there with the other brushes, but I wanted to keep the box because I just love the artwork. So yeah, I kept the box. And then back here is the, for Christmas, and I think this last Christmas, my fiance got me, fiance now, but boyfriend at the time when he purchased this for me. This is the Urban Decay Motherload palette. He got this for Christmas for me. I was so excited. So excited that he got me this palette. It was just like the perfect gift, and so I definitely wanted to keep every part of this gift, including the box. And these are the shadows that came in this collection. I mean, just, it was just the most perfect gift I could have ever asked for. So yeah, this is the Urban Decay Motherload collection box, and I will always keep this as decoration, and it is just perfect, simply perfect. So yeah, so that is what I keep on top of my palette drawers.